Schieb!
Yo guys, what up? By the time you're watching this, it should be 2018. Huzzah, we did it. So I figured I'd do a totally original concept and just kind of give a summary of my 2017. Not for anybody's sake but mine. At the end of what's now this year, I'd like to come back to this video as a nice little compilation of what has so far been probably the best year of my life. I want to start this video by saying that 2016 was definitely the worst year of my life. I lost a big part of my life, and I lost a lot of friendships, and I was in a lot of debt. At the end of 2016, I was unemployed. Because of that, that's why I even started this channel. And due to a pretty bad depression leading a lot of those issues, I had gained a bit of weight. Definitely the most weight I'd ever gained before. Like 3 years ago, I weighed about like 150 pounds. After this depression, I weighed about 180 pounds. So I had started this new job at like the end of 2016. It was straight up the week of Christmas that I had gotten this job, and pretty much from that point on, things have been going really well. So instead of giving you like general things like the fact that I got out of debt or the fact that I got in shape and or I should say in shape, I don't think I think I look way better, but I still don't think I look like someone who avidly goes to the gym. I figured we'd go month by month. So without further ado, this was my year of 2017. When I feel like I'm not being funny enough, I compensate by moving my hands a lot. January was a pretty cool start for me because that's when I was like real deep into the YouTube thing. In that 1 month, I made both of my favorite videos on this channel. I made Life and Letters. Jay jumps. I don't mean to brag, but I got skills. I don't have a hoop. We gotta go to a park. Which then was followed by Bill Tries Parkour.
Alright, I'm Bill Schieb. I'm going to be doing a bolt. This is the first obstacle of the day. I'm going to attack it. A wild beast that loves to jump over things.
Where's he going? He's leaving, isn't he?
He's leaving the building.
He's gone.
I thought those were both really cool videos, and they were the type of videos I had always wanted to make. And in that month, because of that, I hit like 300 subscribers. Which is not a lot to a lot of people. But I've been making content for so long and so inconsistently that like before this channel, the most subscribers I had hit was like 110. And even still, if I would have stayed consistent with this, people would probably actually watch my content. One thing I want to get clear is that I don't make content really for anybody but me anymore. And I know that sounds weird because it's that whole like, if it's just for you, why do you upload it? If I enjoy it, someone else is bound to, but that's not my motivation, is for somebody to enjoy it. It used to be. That's when I was making crappy videos because I felt so much pressure to put them out. But it's 5:30 on New Year's Eve and I had free time. So I figured, hey, I'm gonna make a video. And so what was huge for me also in January was that, as I mentioned before, I lost some pretty meaningful friendships. So work, I ended up meeting Jason. The guys in the background are watching as if he's giving a lecture. Did you just cringe? Yes, Jason! If you were a superhero, what would your name be? Jason. The one way. You are the runway. Oh, here he comes, wearing Michael Kors peacoat. Yes, he looks fancy, but he also looks natural. Trying to pick up a girl, but you're stuck in zero gravity.
Ooh. You wanna go on a date?
Who ended up having a twin brother.
Jared, if you're a superhero, what would your name be?
Boomerang Man.
Why?
Because I'm loyal and always come back.
Jared, what's the sexiest thing you can say in thrift store lingerie?
Baby, I got some nice poop stain that's not mine for you.
What are we? Redbeard Bros!
Redbeard Bros!
Fucking Jared. And now they're easily like my best friends. I'm with them almost all the time, you know, and we're moving in together in February. It's just really exciting. I could not have asked for better friends. and especially at that moment, because I was a mess in January. I put on a really, I'm a funny guy facade for the camera, but really I was doing that to mask the fact that I was miserable. And the only time I wasn't miserable was if I was working on something. That's why I created this channel. As a bummer start, in February, my grandpa had passed away, which was the second death ever experienced to me, that I ever experienced. And my first funeral, my grandma passed away before him, but because of money, we weren't able to give her a funeral. So it's very weird. For anyone who's never been to a funeral, it's sad, it's awkward, and but it's very real. In February, I also found out I was a Ravenclaw. That's pretty cool. I did it on a live stream that I was doing with Magnolia. And I'm Magnolia! She's gonna hate that. It was a lot of fun. Magnolia is also a cool thing that happened because of this whole YouTube thing. It's funny because the internet's like a thing, but me and I feel like plenty of other people don't use it for anything outside of our own social bubble or our own friends or whatever. And I can easily just instant message somebody who lives in frickin' the UK, you know, and I've just never really done that. Magnolia was like the first person that I did, and you know, we Skype like every 2 months or so just to catch up, and it's a beautiful thing. I think it was a cool friendship that I needed. You know, this started like when I wrote this idea out, I was like, this is gonna be really funny. I'm gonna make it really funny, and if anything, it's just I really can't beat in enough that I was in a really, really dark place in 2016. So having this much brighter 2017, it's awesome. March, as I mentioned, the internet's a cool way to meet new people. So I met a girl who lives in Baltimore, and we met halfway in Pittsburgh. That was pretty neat. I really like taking road trips. I like traveling places, but can't really afford to do that. But I only live like 3 hours away from Pittsburgh, so we just met there, and we spent the whole day together. And as first-time experiences go, in March I shot a gun for the first time, which was funny because, like, when you go there, they're like, oh, you're American, you just understand how it works. Here's the thing, I didn't understand how it worked. I loaded the clip, or the magazine, or whatever. There's gonna be some gun nuts watching this, like, idiot! I put it in the gun, aim it. I have no idea what this kickback is gonna be like. I was shooting a 9mm shield, so I'm holding this thing tight, like I'm like drilling into it, like you're going nowhere. You know, pulled it. I remember I went like this, and I pulled the trigger, and I went ah. I don't know. Judge me. Nothing happened. It turns out I didn't like, you know, cock the gun first. But no, it was a ride. It was cool. I went with my mom. Here's a photo. How neat. April. I released my EP. You guys loved the EP. Somebody did like a remix of The End of You and Me. Somebody did a cover of The End of You and Me.
I won't be the same, and you will feel okay. It wasn't meant to be this way.
Somebody did a remix of It Never Ends, which was awesome. Somebody did a review of my EP.
Castle in the Sky. It's probably like definitely the more unique tracks, even though they all stand out quite big because there's only 5 of them.
I don't know any of these people, you know, and that was such a cool, amazing thing. All of these words are just something I wrote in a notebook one day, you know, and now there's people out there just singing it or relating to it, or it's becoming their first kiss or their first dance or these moments. It's like they're no longer my songs, they're everybody else's stuff now, you know, and I think that's really cool. And I'm really stoked about this next project I'm working on, because like if you guys love the EP, I feel like all this stuff that I'm working on now blows all of that out of the water. Not to really crap on the EP, but it's gonna be way better. In May, Jason McClain and I went to New York. basically to celebrate that he passed all his classes. And it was cool, man. That was my second time being in New York. First time I went to New York was under much worse circumstances, which maybe one day I'll tell that story. But anyway, this time was much better. But what's funny is like we were there for 2 days and it was just horrible weather both days. Like it rained, very cold.
Jason, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cold would you say it is? 11.
But definitely it was like a staple in our friendship, because at this point our friendship's still pretty early on, but you know, it was a real cool, not only bonding thing, but it was just dope.
Hey, Jason. How about that glucose?
I love glucose.
Dom says, man, I need to go to NYC.
How do you go anywhere by merely needing to? Hi, my name's Jason. Are you in a rut?
Here we are on a wooden bridge. There's Jason with an umbrella. Hey, watch this. Oh, I killed him. Hey, watch this.
I remembered this moment of us like leaving the hotel, and I put on what was my favorite shirt at that time, and I just remembered looking in the mirror and I was just like, ugh. You know, I did not feel good about myself. So like the next 2 days or whatever, like it was a Thursday, I was one of those firm believers like, man, okay, Monday, start of the week, start of the diet. I honestly, I feel like the sooner you do it, the better. Who cares if you start your diet on a Friday or Wednesday or whatever? It doesn't matter. What matters is just your dedication to it. And boy, I was dedicated, because oh Lord, you know, like I was not happy. June, I was hanging out with Hunter and in his backyard, and he ended up spraining his ankle. So like he was horrified he was gonna have to get surgery. So he's like crying, he was wailing the whole way to the hospital. Like, I don't wanna get surgery, I don't wanna get surgery, right? So we get in there and we go into the nurse, and because he's been sweating so much and crying so much, he's very dehydrated, so I buy him some like water and I hand it to him, and the nurse jumps in and takes it away, and I'm like, why can't he have any water? And she's like, he can't eat or drink anything just in case he has to get surgery. And Hunter starts losing. So we get him into an emergency room, me and his grandma are there. This is one of my favorite Hunter memories. This nurse comes in, and she is super attractive. Hunter is still just wailing away. She's like, let me go get you a blanket. And she goes to leave, and I think she dropped something outside of the door. All I see is her like she bent over to pick something up, and as she did that, like nothing is in the room of hers except for her butt, her booty. And I remember like, so it's just Nurse Booty in the room, Hunter's still wailing. I look over at him and I like kind of did this, and Hunter is like oh my god, I lost my mind. Just eyes full of tears, just checking out the Nurse Booty. You know, sometimes you gotta do what you do. It is the best medicine. In July, I had decided that I wanted to make a 6-song EP titled If I'm Being Honest. I had gotten like 5 song concepts for it, like immediately. Like I found chords, I was finding words, but it was definitely taking longer. Most of the time when I write a song, it takes maybe a week. Less than, too. Sometimes I can write it in one sitting, you know? On this project, it was all coming to me in little bits and jumbles and different songs, you know? It was very weird. So I was just taking my time with it. And even with this project, I was writing all of the instruments for it. In August, I went to a wrestling event with Jason Evans.
She is the darkness to my light.
So it's a good person against a good person, clearly.
Yeah. It's a good match no matter what.
It was a lot of fun. Every time that event rolls around, I try to go to it just because it's different. Not a lot of people do that, you know? I had also finished the first song for the 6-song EP I was working on, and it's titled Shots Fired, which I showed a snippet of in the last video. But here's a snippet of me playing it for the very first time on Facebook Live. Boom, in September. I had a birthday. So did the twins. The twins, their birthday is on September 3rd. Mine's on September 5th. Their family doesn't really live around here, so we said, F it, dog. And we put our birthdays together. And all of my friends were there, and their friends came, and it was really neat. Me and Jason Evans went to Chicago on basically an F it ideal, I don't know.
Me and Jason on our way to Chicago. That's right, we got far to go. Just kidding, only 80 miles left. Jason, take the verse right now. Hit him with it, man.
Here we go, going down the road as we go to Chicago. Ooh!
Oh, Diane, that's just nasty. Baby, you're spitting on children. What are you? Oh, God, no. This is what I look like when I take a shower, too. I'm like, ooh, stop.
At the end of September, me and Jason decided that we wanted to train to run a half marathon.
Oh, hell no!
October, I went with Danny and met Ray William Johnson. That was really cool. And that month, I also decided that instead of making a 6-song EP, I wanted to make a full album. I was like, F the EP shiz, I already did that. I want an album. And as it stands right now, it might change, but it's a 10-song album. I'm insanely proud of it, and it's one of the only things I talk about right now. In November, there wasn't much going on. And in December, a lot of snow showed up, so I was doing a lot of shoveling.
Hey, Jared, if you had one message for Snow, what would it be?
Fuck you.
Solo, I'm riding solo.
Jason Derulo.
Guys, I gotta tell you, shoveling driveways just fucking suck.
If we seduce the ice, it'll melt. Trust me.
I recorded a new song for the album. I actually got a lot of things done for the album this month. I completely finished 2 more of the songs. I'll show you demos of what those 2 songs kind of sound like.
It's 11 a.m. and I'm in Manhattan. Hard to take a break from everything that's happened, but I keep one hand in my pocket. I'm hoping for your call. Times Square, but I'm lacking. Take me back to the morning sunrise, maybe just one more time. Got a feeling that I wanna get off my chest, but I never seem to say what's on my mind. Yeah.
And that was it. That was my 2017. And to some people, it may not sound like much. It may not sound super exciting. And in fact, I feel like my tone throughout this whole video was pretty, but I really went into this video like, it's gonna be funny. And I hope it at least wasn't boring. I tried. So what does 2018 hold, huh? Hopefully, it'll be the release of my album. I plan on delving deep into music in 2018. And I'm not gonna make any promises of anything, but I'm hoping to do some covers. There's gonna be a huge change with the whole music thing that I'll announce when I'm ready. When I'm living with the twins, they're very funny, creative guys. So hopefully we'll make some content. I can't promise anything there either, but what I can promise is there will definitely be Snapchats. So if you want to follow me on Snapchat, most of the videos that you've seen in this video were from Snapchat posted on my story. I was gonna play the piano to like do an outro thing, but it's not plugged in because I have these lights plugged in.
You're looking for a high bunch of outro, and you finally know what to say. You just put a little ditty at the end of your video, and it'll all wrap up okay. I'm just saying subscribe.